My world is an office. Okay. Right, you recording? Hit record.
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. So today, guys, we have two of the OG Innerfight Endurance crowd. This is why I love ultra running and just running in general. You take these two guys as individuals and put them together. In any other scenario, they would never probably form a friendship. But you put them running and they become two inseparable best mates. Put them together for 250 kilometers.
Yes.
And they'll tell the story. So I'm very, very pleased to bring you two of my clients, and I would now like to say my friends, Alejandro and Nabil, aka Holiday and Terminator.
I am Holiday.
I'm the Terminator.
Cool. So where do we start, Nabil? Like before the race, a bit of training and how it happened?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, mate.
I mean, I think we got both into ultra running. Like, I don't know what was the real reason. We had very different reasons, but we basically, me and Nabil used to meet every now and then in the gym and just say, hi, what's up? How are you? How have you been? At some point, I met Nabil also after partying, eating in Satarus 8, and I just said hi to him. But we didn't have that much of a friendship. And in 2019, one day he just tells me, look, I'm thinking of doing an ultra. And I was like, yeah, man, me too. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what, I'm not sure about it, but I'm going to think about it. And 2 days afterwards, I met Nabil again in the gym, and he was telling me, look, I just signed up. And that kind of like pushed me forward into signing up and basically started training with Rob. And we trained on around, how much time did we train? Like around 6 months?
Almost 5.
Yeah.
5 months and a half.
Yes. And we became part of this, the crew to go to Jordan, basically, which you guys already know. And we were around 11 people going to Jordan. I don't know what you want to say here in this part when it comes to the training. I don't know, Nabil.
Actually, the train. I'm gonna speak a bit about my experience because before actually signing up for this race, the longest distance I've ever ran was 15 kilometers, which I did by myself. And usually after 11K, I used to have those knee pains and cramps, and I had absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I played football like most of my life. So I'm used to running, but I've never like ran long distance in my life. What actually triggered for me to actually sign up for such a race is actually the corporate life and the corporate stress that I was passing through. It actually was draining me a lot, and I reached a point in my life where I was a bit depressed because of that. So one day I was just hitting the gym early morning, and a bunch of our friends were just talking about their experience. I think at Innerfight, they were having those inner talks about the race that they did in Sri Lanka. And I was like watching these guys and thinking like seriously, they ran 250 kilometers. I mean, and the way they described it, the experience, I felt something. So this is when I actually met Alejandro in the changing room that morning, and I was telling him, mate, I just heard about that, and I think I'm gonna do it. So long story short, we signed up. We trained for five months.
During the Dubai summer.
I mean, the first month, Rob actually, each month we concluded it with a crazy experience. The first time we did, the end of the first month, we did 50-kilometer run. That was like, for me, it's what was a mission impossible, which I actually smashed. Like I was really amazed with the result, and I was lucky because I did it back home in Lebanon. So for me, it was beautiful. Alejandro, I guess you did it here in Al Qudra, right?
Yeah, I did Into the Darkness version 2, actually, because I think Into the Darkness happened at the beginning of June, and then I did it on the 20th of June 2019. um, all by myself, basically. I mean, there were other people doing cycling, and Abdel was also doing the 50K, and we started together, but at some point we kind of like separated. And that was also like a rabbit hole experience, literally. It's like going there like without a head torch, running through all the cycle track, and at some point like your eyes get so used to the darkness and
that run, right? It was
huh?
the first nail that you lose. I
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess the other one memorable part of the training was Cat Springs. I mean, I don't know about you, but for me, that was
Yeah,
kind of like a living nightmare.
before that, we did a crazy one as well. We did a 12-hour AMRAP up and down a hill. Actually, it's more than a hill because it was 700 meter elevation over 4 kilometers. So it's basically inclined the whole time. I did this actually with Abdel as well. It was an insane experience. So every month, the wrap up of every month was even like crazier than the one before. So and just before the race, we did a simulation of the race. So we actually did the back-to-back runs between like normal runs, and we did them a sand marathon as well, 42 kilometers in Al Qudra.
Yeah.
That was also insane. So just
I
to
mean,
jump into the race, because I don't know how much time we have, but to jump into the race.
one thing before we jump into the race, I think like the most important thing about the training part was, at least to me, when I signed up for this, I knew that the 250 kilometers was something that was bigger than me, and I didn't think I was capable of doing it at all. And literally 2 weeks before the race, I don't know how you felt about that, Nabil, but I was sure that I was able to do it. Like I was really impressed on the change of my mindset from the beginning, in which I literally I didn't believe that I was going to be able to make it or do it, or 2 weeks before the race, in which I knew that I was going to be able to complete the race. It was just a matter of the excitement came from what was going to happen, like how the race was going to be, but I was sure that I was going to finish it.
Yeah, I remember very well. We were all also panicking about the stuff that we need to buy and if we are buying the right stuff or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like for those of you who are thinking of doing an ultra, like really
plan it very well.
yeah, and start planning with your food and like waiting all your stuff and getting all your gear like 2 months in advance. Choose the right shoes. At least they need to be big, guys. Like don't do the mistake that I did. I went to Jordan basically with shoes that were not the right size. Like actually were just my size, and I pay the consequences. Let's jump into the race.
Exactly. Obviously, this is the first day, guys. You see the smile, posing, enjoying. That was the first day, probably the first 15 kilometers of the race.
Yeah, like here you can see that is the first days also, because I don't have the polls at least, and we're all happy, all smiles. I think this was exactly on the first day, in which actually the first 2 days, me and Nabil, because it was our first race, so we decided just to keep things under our control, right? Like at least like we decided to run together and like to tackle the race having a nice pace, a nice timing, but not really racing. Like we didn't want to go all crazy and get ourselves tired, especially on the first day. Like we were trying to preserve ourselves.
For me, I didn't have experience at all when it comes to racing, and I always I have this, I would call, I don't know if it's a weakness, but the thing is, even in my training, I always go all in. So like Rob would always tell me to cool down, to just plan things well, not to burn out. So I was like always thinking that I'm here in this race because I want to finish it. So that was my main purpose, and I wanted to make sure, just to understand really how my body would react with such pressure, especially that it was soft sand, desert. The food was because we were having also dehydrated food. It's not something that we are used to. So I just wanted to make sure that we make it. And you know, like my main concern was always the third day, because the third day is the long stage where we do 70 kilometers. And
67.
So for the first 2 days,
67.
let's just enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for me, like the first 2 days also were, I mean, I'm not gonna say that they were easy for sure. Each one of these days were very difficult. But like the main expectations was going to be on the third day. I unfortunately made a mistake on the second day at night. Basically, during packing, Rob had told me, like, I mean, I was speaking with Rob on the things that we were going to be eating and what he was packing when it comes to food. And he mentioned that he was going to bring some chili flakes. And I said, oh, wow. So if Rob is going to bring some chili flakes, I'm going to go ahead and do the same. Like, I don't know. But anyways, I packed some chili flakes. And I'm not a big, how do you say, a fan of eating spicy. I like spicy food, but fine. The night before, I was eating some spaghetti bolognese, and I had the amazing idea of putting some chili flakes in it. You know, why not? I brought it. I put some chili flakes. I give some chili flakes to Abdul, and it tasted just a bit better. I mean, the food, I was very satisfied with the food. And with the chili flakes, it was a bit spicy. Major mistake. So that entire night, besides the fact that you can never really, really sleep well during these races because you're just in the floor, you're sleeping and you think everybody else around you is sleeping when they're not sleeping. I kept waking up to go to the bathroom. And also feeling a bit hot because I just ate something very spicy. So the morning of the race, and I guess we can already start during the third day and what happened during the third day, because the third day was really the race. I believe, like, okay, we start and everything is beautiful because the temperature is nice. You can see the stars. Like, it's really, really amazing, like the first 10 kilometers of the race, except for the fact that I was stepping every 10 seconds to go to the bathroom during the race because I had eaten chili flakes. So everything was a disaster from the beginning. Nabil, on the other hand, he was thriving.
Yeah.
Then that was on the first 10 kilometers. I was not feeling well with my stomach. And also, I start noticing that my left knee starts to hurt. And starts to hurt very, very, like something very minimal, but you know that the pain is there. And you just continue walking, you just continue running, but you know that thing is in the back of your head. When I get into the first 10 kilometers, and Nabil is there with Joao, they're having they're getting treated by the osteopaths. I already have like a major pain in my knee, and I'm trying to figure out like thinking of how the hell am I going to be doing the rest of the 57 kilometers that we have left. By that time also, what happened? Okay. By that time also, I started to hear like of people dropping out of the race. So it kind of, I don't know, I was starting to feel like I was in like in the Hunger Games or something like that. Like you start
mate.
People like starting to drop.
Yeah, of course.
What was that?
Nothing. Continue.
Okay. Now from kilometer number 10, like that checkpoint, me and Nabil continue to run together. Until we started like going through this ascent of like we started gaining some elevation, and by that time we were both having a lot of fun. Like by that time my knee had been taped, so it didn't hurt as much, and I was starting to feel a bit better from my stomach. That part was really cool because we started seeing all the faster runners who started an hour later started to pass all the runners that started running like us basically. And Nabil started to run with Salama, and like the guy who was on first place, the guy who was on second place. That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we separated for a bit. In that stage, I just went to I just went for 5K with Salama. Then there was another guy, the Asian guy. He actually also passed by. I did like 5K with him. It was really awesome. And then I waited for Ali at the other checkpoint where actually the fun part began.
Yeah, basically at that point, there's a moment in which I don't want to push that much. So Nabil starts running and starts running with the fast guys, and I stay behind a bit. And I just said, okay, you know what? We have been running together for the first two days. It's okay if he wants to go a bit faster. No issues. Like, but I really wanted to go slow because I didn't know how much my knee was going to last. So I really wanted to preserve myself. I think we met in kilometer number 40. So me and Nabil separated in kilometer number 20. So within these 20 kilometers between checkpoint number 2 and checkpoint number 4, I actually was feeling great. And I remember that it was 9:30 a.m. and I was passing checkpoint number 3, which was 33 kilometers. And the guys, like the people from the race, were telling us, well done, you're almost halfway. And I had the wild dream or the wild thought, and I thought I could actually, I mean, I don't think this is going to be that much of a long day, actually. If it's already 9:30 a.m. and I'm halfway there, like, I'm going to be fine. Everything went to shit from kilometer number 40 when I met Nabil onwards. So I arrived to kilometer number 40. I'm feeling super great. I actually don't want to stop. But I see Nabil there, and Nabil is with this lady called Esme. It's a British girl from the UK. Yeah, this British girl called Esme, who is, I think, about to die. I don't know. Like, she literally looks very bad. And I don't know how Nabil convinced me to stay a bit longer in the checkpoint, drink a bit more water, and start running with this girl because we cannot leave this girl alone, right? And so we went from kilometer number 40. I think it's around 12, no, or maybe 11:30 or 12 in the morning. No, 12 p.m. Yeah.
It was midday, and I remember we hit this. I don't know if you have the picture of the plateau where we were. It was like a complete plateau. You can't see the end of it. Midday sun. It was really like very hot. And the girl was really struggling. I mean, she was like almost fainting. I remember, apart from this, the beeper, like because we had those tracking machines in our bags, which usually you have to trigger them in case of emergency. Mine went off by itself. One went on by itself, and it started beeping, and it's super annoying because it beeps like. I think you are reversing a car, like beep, beep. And literally, like, we had to deal with this noise for 10 kilometers. I had to deal with the girl. But this is where I really got to believe more and more in God and in angels. Because out of nowhere, like seriously, guys, out of nowhere, a Jeep with 2 local guys just passes through, like in the middle of nowhere.
We think that this Jeep is full with the organizers who are going to come and rescue Nabil because his beeper was activated. But no, there were these 2 Bedouin guys start speaking in Arabic, and Nabil starts speaking in Arabic with them, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, one of the guys brings a bottle that is frozen with water.
Iced water, like it's
ice water.
We didn't drink cold water. We just had an iced bottle of water.
Like in the middle of the desert.
Super amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it takes you from 0 to 10. So,
yeah. That was also the part like between kilometer number 40 and kilometer number 50. And this video, basically, I don't know if we're able to put the video, but it's when I actually started getting a bit nervous because I was feeling well. I was not hungry. I was drinking water. I didn't have anything. Like, it was just my knee that was hurting. And I don't know if it happened to you, but at some point we stopped just to rest a bit. And I remember I started stretching my legs, and I squatted. And the moment that I was standing up again, I remember feeling super lightheaded, and there was a moment in which I thought I was going to faint. And that's when I realized that actually my body was a bit on the edge without me even like realizing. So I don't know, like in this video, I'm going to put it, let me know guys if this worked, but basically in this video, it's me complaining and realizing to Navid that based on, it's the harsh reality that we're facing, which conditions are not going to change. We're under the horrible sun in Jordan, okay? We're moving at a super slow pace. Like we're walking, like in this video, we're walking, and I'm just making the calculation that we have 20 more kilometers to go. And if we're moving at maybe 4 to 5K an hour, that means that we have 4 to 4 hours and a half of the same situation. So you either accept the situation and just move on,
or you just give up.
Or you just give up. But of course we didn't give up. So let's see.
Let's face it.
This is shit. I'm feeling horrible. This is hell. We are. Can you listen to the beeping? You know what's a harsh truth, an uncomfortable reality is that you take a look at your watch. You still have 20 kilometers to go. Conditions will not change. Probably they'll remain the same. Hopefully in a few hours it will get a bit better. But your speed most likely will remain the same, at least mine. That means you have to do 4 hours, and you can do 4 more hours in this. That's harsh. In this. That's the girl, by the way.
With this sun. I think you can hear the leopard.
Yep. This is it. Ultra life, man. Yeah.
So now things started to change a bit on kilometer number 50, in which we actually convinced Esme, the British girl, to stay there and try to get cured by the osteopaths and the medics that were there. So me and Nabil continued on our own from kilometer number 50, really looking forward to get to kilometer number 60. Basically the last 17 kilometers of the race. When we get to kilometer number 50, the organizers tells us that, look guys, 3 kilometers that way, you're gonna find a water tank. And at this point, we're super skeptical and we're not believing anything what they're telling us. And I said to Nabil straight ahead, I think they're lying to us. Like, there's no water tank. But we went ahead and tried to follow their instructions. On the way, this is actually a really cool photo, by the way, because before, like after kilometer number 50, like we managed to find like this shade and we started eating. This was a really cool moment, actually. We started.
Surprise for you.
Huh?
Yeah, I remember I told you I have a surprise for you to lift you up, and you were like, "What?" I told you I have dried meat, which sadly my wife she packed for us, so it's time to enjoy.
Yeah.
As you can see, and from his face, obviously he's enjoying it.
Yeah. So once we did this pit stop, we actually started looking for this water tank. We started arriving into this area of the desert in which there were really big mountains all around us. And we tried to look for this.
Finish line is behind those mountains. Like it's not far from here. They said it's around 7 to 8K, and we should be at 11, right, Alejandro, if I remember very well.
I mean, we have. What did you say? We had to reach checkpoint 6, which was 60 kilometers, and then 7 kilometers more.
Yeah.
So this water tank really meant the world to us. Like it was a really nice midway to kind of like refresh. But I was convinced that didn't exist. But it turns out that the water tank exists. And it was literally another gift from God. I think we were the only guys that found this water tank. I don't know, because we were talking to everyone, like all the other guys from Innerfight. Like, do you guys see the water tank? Like, what water tank, bro? Like, so we probably might just imagine it, by the way. maybe we imagined this water tank. I don't know. Now, all these things were really, really, really cool. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This was a very, very eventful race until we got into kilometer number 60. Actually, to get into kilometer number 60, there's one point in which we started going through this, like, I don't know how many, but it was all soft sand, but really, really, really soft sand. Like, not soft sand that you find in the beach here. No, it was really super difficult to walk. And me and Nabil already started getting into each other's nerves at this point. Yeah. So Nabil wanted, like, trying to cut or going through different, like, not follow the actual flag, the actual small flags that were marking the route, but he wanted to start cutting a bit more, obviously, to save some kilometers. And I started fighting because he really wanted to go, like, going up and down, like going through super difficult places in order for us to start cutting time. So we were in the edge of starting a fight just there. I mean, I don't know, but that was what's happening in my head. But we reached kilometer number 60, and I'm super happy because that means that we only have 7 kilometers left, and that's super doable. At this point, I think it's around maybe 2:30 or 3 p.m. So the sun's still here in our head. We arrived into kilometer number 60, and I told the lady, so, like, 7 kilometers, like, where's the camp? And she says, well, the camp, it's between 10 and 10.5 kilometers ahead. And I'm like, what? Yeah, it's 10, 11 kilometers. So it's more or less. like, wait, are we not doing 67 kilometers? Like, no. I think you guys are doing 70, 71. And that was it. Like, Nabil in that moment started like, no way, this cannot be. You guys put me to drink gasoline. Oh, by the way, you completely forgot to tell everyone that you drank gasoline that day.
Yeah.
They basically, at some point during the race also, I think the tanks where they were filling out the gasoline were the same tanks where they were putting all the water that they were giving us at some point. I don't know. And then Will started to complain, like, you guys gave me gasoline, and now I'm here, and you're telling me that I need to be running 10 kilometers more. What is this? So we departed kilometer number 60 with the worst mindset ever. And at this point, we're just both of us walking and trying to, like, hold each other, like, and keep ourselves like in a good mindset. But this is it's not really happening. And that's,
I remember at some point you told me, listen, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I have nothing to prove. I've done everything that I can. But if I quit now, it means tomorrow I'm not gonna show up ever in it. Do I really want to do this? You remember?
Yeah.
And
like,
then,
that's a moment in which, like, I don't know, your coaches always tell you you're gonna hit dark places, and you think that you have hit dark places during your training. Well, that's not true. This time was the real place. Like, me and Nabil were arriving into this beautiful valley. It was just all a straight line of soft sand, mountains on each side. And you have no sight where the camp is. At this point, like, I don't know, we're not talking, we're just saying, like, I hate this. And in my head, I'm just thinking, why 71 kilometers? Why are they making this so difficult? And I swear, guys, in that moment, it's almost like my head was telling me, like, but Alejandro, you sign up for an ultra. It is supposed to be difficult. Like, what do you expect? Like this is difficult, and it's supposed to be difficult, and you sign up for it, and you clearly are not trained for this. Like, you didn't train well, you're not prepared for this, and you might as well just quit. You should quit. And I started going into this downward spiral of just you should quit. I mean, why did you sign up for this? You clearly didn't like. And I swear to God, guys, I could literally hear myself laughing at myself, like, ha 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 ha, Alejandro, you're not gonna able to make it. And I make that. I was telling Nabil, like, Nabil, I don't know about you, but tomorrow I'm gonna take I'm gonna finish tonight. I'm gonna finish today, but tomorrow I'm gonna take a bus back to Amman, and I'll never go back to Innerfight again.
I have started laughing.
But and also one of the other things that we were thinking, or that I was thinking, because you're in such a bad place, honestly, in such a bad place, that I felt forgotten. Like, I don't know, it was me and Nabil there. Like, most of our friends, I mean, we didn't know where the other Innerfight guys were, but we knew that some of them had already finished, that Rob had already finished. So, and we just thought, like, you know what, we're probably just going to arrive to the camp and they're going to be there chilling, like, hey, what's up, mate? Everything's cool, while we were there dying, you know? So I really felt like, I don't know, that I felt forgotten, okay? And of course, all these are very bad thoughts, because when you're there, you're just thinking bad shit.
Yeah,
So we continue to walk. I don't know how you were feeling, basically, but that's a very clear description of how I was feeling. And I think that's when the devil was speaking to me. No,
I was in complete agony, complete pain. I mean, I was mentally drained, physically drained. The sun actually like sucked all my energy, because we started before the sunrise, and we finished exactly like half an hour after the sundown. So and the desert sun is really tough. So I was super drained. I was in complete agony. My body, like, literally, I felt like I exceeded my limits, because my body, I was in so much pain. And the thing is that the key in those races is the sooner you finish, the more recovery time you have. So and I personally, because I experienced during this year different ultra races, and I had to do, like, one of the races that I did was one stage, but it was 64 kilometers. I ran the entire race, and I did it in a very good time. And actually, if I had to do Jordan again, like the long stage, I would definitely run it. I wouldn't walk much. I wouldn't drain myself the same way that I did. I think our approach was wrong. We should have went more like stronger. We should have went faster.
Yeah.
But experience, it's all about experience, and this is how you build it. So there, I remember that when we reached the camp, which was
the best part. Like, we're reaching, and I don't know if you remember, Nabil, sorry to interrupt you, but like, there's a moment in which we see this light, like this lantern, like flashing.
Exactly.
And we're there, and we're kind of like, we're here. And all I just hear is Marcus' voice saying, yes, yes. And I don't know what happened there. Like, we started running again. Like, it was like, boom, boom. It's almost like a race between each one of us.
Exactly.
And 10 meters before the finish line on that day, it was like, I could not stop crying. Like, I arrived and I was just literally like, like I could not stop. And I remember one of these, like, I don't know, the feeling of relief was so powerful. I remember, like, one of the director of all the osteopaths came. He's a big guy, came and hugged me, and I hugged him. Like, I was literally like collapsing in front of him. But I don't know about you, Nabil, but the feeling that you feel, like, we were so low, and the moment that you,
it's rewarding. It's the feeling is super rewarding. I mean, when you go, you see your friends waiting for you. You've finished. I mean, your whole body gets stimulated in a very positive way. But the thing is that in that particular night, I was thinking that we still have the second day. We still have like 50 kilometers to do, and the day after 40. And literally, like, my body was in complete pain. We didn't have much time because we had to eat, which takes you minimum 30 minutes to set up your food. We have to go visit the osteo to fix our feet. And exactly. And then find a spot to sleep. So doing all these things would take you around 2 hours to do it, and then we had to sleep and wake up the second day. So I remember I asked Marcus that night. I told him, like, mate, really, like, when you feel that you reached your limits, I mean, what is your physical limit? Like a person's physical limit? Because I feel that I've reached it. I mean, how am I gonna wake up tomorrow and just do another 50K? I find it literally impossible. Like, I feel my body cannot recover. As always, his answer was very simple. He was like, "It's all good, mate. Tomorrow is another day. Just sleep it over. Tomorrow we
Tonight
go."
we party, he said.
Exactly. And that night, guys, that night, well, most of you literally passed out, but there was a sandstorm. We were sleeping on a rock outdoors, literally, and then a sandstorm actually hit us and everything was flying. I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember I woke up in the middle of the night to go and grab my stuff. You know, they were flying everywhere. So
No, for me, that was actually the best night that I slept, to be honest. It was the first time actually that people gave me painkillers. And that was a super interesting discovery because the next day, my knee was, I don't know what was happening with my knee, but my knee was fucked up. So the next day, it was all day running with painkillers, which turned out to be the best thing ever. Like, honestly, like day 5 was a way more relaxed day than day 4 was way more relaxed than day 3.
well, for me, also, like, surprisingly, like the second day I woke up, I was feeling very good. I mean, I really, like, physically felt good, mentally felt amazing, and I really felt like, here it is. I mean, I can see the finish line. Now I know that I can finish this race.
Yeah.
And this is when I actually really started to enjoy the race and push myself.
Yeah.
So starting that date, I really started to push myself and to literally run.
Yeah.
It was
the
a
last
really,
day you were running fast.
yeah, yeah. That day I started to run. Actually, I was running after Abdel, Abdel at that time, but you know, it's hard to catch this guy, especially when he's with
The poles.
yeah, with the poles, man. You should see him. He's like a machine.
Yeah.
So yeah, the second day was really awesome. It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful stage as well because I remember we went through a valley, which was really nice. We saw a bit of tourists. We saw some camels. I don't know, Ali, if you have some pictures in the presentation.
I don't have pictures of the last day. I have pictures of the starting line of the last race actually, which was very emotional.
This is the best
for you. Yeah! Luck, guys. Mates.
That's me crying.
He's actually 70 years old. By the way, guys, like, you can see a lady which is 70, she's 70 years old. She's super interesting. I mean, I've watched this lady every single day, starting and finishing at the same pace. She was going at a slow pace, but steady, slow pace the entire race. And she actually finished very strong.
Yeah.
Every day I was telling myself, I mean, I look at my right and I see this lady running and I say, I have no excuse whatsoever not to finish and not to run harder and faster.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like, for me, this experience was a life-changing experience. It actually ticked all of the boxes that I was looking for and more, and much more, actually. I encourage, like, every single person to try it, and if not if not an ultra race, but definitely I encourage anyone to push their limits in anything that they would love to do. Ultra running is something beautiful. It's something amazing. It goes beyond running. I mean, it's a life. It's a lifestyle by itself. The people you meet, the people that this sport actually gathers are amazing people. Each have their own story. Each have their own purpose, their own reasons. It's absolutely beautiful.
Mm. What I enjoy the most about this is the personal journey also, like, and we call this presentation ultra raving because, I mean, I don't know, I love partying and I love, I mean, I don't know, my but to me, ultra was really, it was a trip, honestly. Like, it was a trip, and when you're in a trip, that you go through so many things happen, and there's so many changes in the way how you see things, and the way how you feel, the way how you see life. But these 5 days, I look back and I look at the videos of Ultra X, and all I want to do, even though I was in pain most of the time, all I want to do is go back. I don't know why. Like, I see these videos, and all I want to do is to be back in the desert and have this feeling of freedom. Like, when you're there, like, you don't have to be worrying about, I don't know, trying to find a job. I was jobless, like, when I was doing this race. Like, I didn't worry about any of these things. I was just, all I had to worry was about myself. Do you have enough water? Do you have enough food? How are you feeling? How are your legs? And that's it. And for me, that was liberating. Like, it was definitely one of the best experiences of my life.
Absolutely insane. I mean, for me, for example, literally, it was the only week since 5 years that I literally can say that I really disconnected.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally disconnected from everything in my life. I mean, I was not even looking at my phone. Actually, we didn't even have service for our phones.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It felt like it was a whole month, but it was actually only 5 days.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have any questions, by the way. I mean, we are talking and talking, but I don't know if you guys want to ask us any questions. The floor is open.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
That was pretty ridiculous. What do you think the hardest moment for you both was? What was the one point where you literally were going to throw in the towel, and what made you keep going? Like, what was the crucial point, like the crunch moment where you either keep going or you stop? And what do you think that drove you to do, like, to keep going?
For me, the most difficult moment was the last hour of the third day, in which me and Nabil were walking in the middle of this valley where we were like 4 kilometers away from the camp. We could not see the camp, and to be honest, I don't know what kept me going. I knew that I was not going to quit, but I had quit it in my head. For me, it was very clear that the next day I was not going to be running, and I was convinced. Like, that was a decision that I had already made, and I don't know. I knew that I was going to finish that day, and that was like I guess that was the compromise that I'd done to myself, because honestly, in my head, I was done. I think what kept me going was, or deciding to run the other 2 days, because when I crossed the finish line, I don't know what happened. Like, the feeling that I felt there, I knew inside of my heart that, of course, Alejandro, you're going to run the next 2 days. Like, what the fuck were you talking about? It was just the adrenaline. Like, it's just my I think what kept me going was the fact that I saw Rob, I saw Marcus, and I saw my friends there. They're actually waiting for us. Like, we were not forgotten, because in my head, at that point, I was feeling so low because I felt forgotten. I felt like, wow, I'm suffering here, and I'm alone, like, let's say. So I think being there with a group of friends, let's say, really, really made a difference for me. And finishing that day really cleared my head. Like, for me, it was magical. Like, I was just, because I had quit in my head. Yeah. So just keep going, basically. Even if you don't want to go, just like, I guess, continue walking until the end, and then see how you feel. Let's say cut your goal into small goals, I guess.
I mean, for me, definitely the hardest moment was the last part of the long stage. That was like the hardest moment and the darkest moment that I've ever faced probably in my life.
Yeah.
What kept me going actually was very simple. Quitting for me was not an option. I mean, I would literally die, but I would not quit. And because I've had an intention set in my heart before I started this race, and there were a lot of things that I needed an answer for, and I had something to prove to myself. So for me, quitting was not an option, because if I had failed in that, for me it meant that I would fail in anything in my life. So yeah, for me it was not an option.
Pretty good answers there, guys.
There's a question here. Is there any moment in the race that you guys stopped to enjoy the view? Well, mate, yes. There are moments where you actually forget where you are and you focus on the pain and the suffer at the present moment that you are in. But generally speaking, I mean, 70% of the race, you would enjoy the views, mate. You would enjoy it.
And then we've got another question from Marcus saying, what made it hard, do you think? Question mark.
What made it hard?
What made it hard? Look, for me, I don't know if this would answer the question, but like knowing what I know today would have made it much easier. Experience, you know, lack of experience would make it hard for you. I don't know if I answered his question, but this is how I would answer it.
I think I made it hard to myself, actually. I don't know. I think there was a point in which no, it's true. Like because when we set expectations, like we were saying, like, let's get into kilometer number 60, and then it's just 7 kilometers more. But when we got into kilometer number 60, and they tell us that it's 11 kilometers more, it's like, no. And that literally, at least for me, like, fucked me over. And
but this is it.
This
is really like in a couple of other races that I've done during this year, I've learned that they never, there isn't even one race apart from the marathons and half marathons where you actually hit the exact distance. And they tell you it's 50, it ends up to be 56 or 54. They tell you 60, it ends up to be 66. So you know what I mean? And when I say experience, it's a wide, there's a big definition for experience. Experience means, first of all, knowing what to eat, what to pack, understanding your physical ability and capability, knowing that when you go to such races, just go and race. Don't think of the second day, think of the day that you are in. Just go all in every single day until this race ends, because you can do it. I mean, your body is capable of literally, like, you have no idea what a human body is capable of achieving, and the amount of beating it can take. Like, literally, you have no idea.
Yeah. How do you find the red light gators?
What was the favorite part of the race? The finish line. I mean, guys, the finish was the best feeling ever. I think the next time I would feel such a feeling would be probably when I have a son or a daughter, because I think that was something that was amazing. Like, I've never felt that good in my life.
Yeah. For me, favorite part of my race, I mean, every day, actually, once you finish the race, the sunsets are fantastic, and going and going into the middle of the bushes, have a shit and see the sunset is fantastic. Was my favorite thing.
George, to answer your question, the Gators were absolutely amazing. I mean, I had no issues with the Gators. I don't think any of our friends had any
Yeah.
issues with the Gators.
Yeah. How do your body feel after the race? That's actually really interesting.
Can I tell them this funny story? Just
Yeah.
30 seconds. Guys, when we came back to the hotel after the race in Amman, so I was in the room, me, Alejandro,
Awesome.
and Haitham. So we took a shower. Of course, like logically speaking, you will assess the damage and you will have swollen feet. Maybe you lose a couple of nails.
All
But
my nails.
I had a totally damaged foot. You guys have no idea. Like we should have shared the picture.
No.
So Alejandro took the shower. Before he took the shower, he showed me his foot, and I told him, mate, this is serious. Like, I mean,
This looks very
really bad. He said, yeah, and it hurts very much. So he took a shower, and then he applied this cream on it. And 5 minutes later, he convinced himself that he already feels better, and his foot already looks good. And I have this ridiculous picture of his foot. It's like he had gangrene. You know, you have to chop off his foot. No, actually, the recovery is it takes a couple of weeks to recover. I mean, you'll have
months. Like,
for a week or so.
we came back to Dubai to Track Tuesday literally a week after, all of us thinking that we're gonna be here going to run Track Tuesday like champions, like, and that Track Tuesday was horrible. It's like your body could not run anymore. We were just going so slow, like everything was nothing was working basically. Yeah, for me it took me actually like 2 months to actually start feeling like myself again, like running. It was a long recovery.
For me, actually, like to fully recover, it took me a month to fully recover. We tried to run like 2 weeks after we went to Track Tuesday. We started running a bit. Definitely, you feel a bit of pain, a bit uncomfortable, but I mean, in a month and between 4 and 5 weeks, I believe a normal person would fully recover.
Yeah.
What did you hate the most, Alejandro? That's a question. The food.
No, wait, not the food. It's the packing. I hated the planning. That's like the worst. Like the month, like I don't know, the 3 weeks before going into the race, it was all this paranoia of like, because it's our first time going to this race, and like we know we have all of our stuff, and then every now and then Abdel would come. Oh guys, I bought this new thing that you need to, like this new pair of shoes that are ultra, they're less weight, and you can use it in the desert, and they're special for this. And then Joao goes and buys them, and then Nabil goes and buys them, and then I go ahead, okay, I'm gonna go and buy them because everybody bought them and whatever. And then another day after, then comes Abdel. Oh, I found this new I don't know, sleeping bag online that doesn't have any weight. It's like minus 50 grams in weight, and it's super powerful. And then we all go and then buy I don't know, I hated that part. Like I next time now I know what I need, and I just want to go for the extra big, extra large shoes. Basically, that's the next thing that I'm gonna do. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Rob Jones, is he still about? He's listening, but I don't know if he's...
Yes, I'm here. I'm driving.
Oh, wow. Okay. I think that's all we've got in terms of chat and questions. So thank you very much, guys. Rob Jones, you want to round it up without crashing?
Thank you, guys.
If people weren't convinced of what an emotional roller coaster an ultra journey is from that chat, I think now they have a much better idea. And to be honest, I'm sitting here twitching, wanting to go run again.
Yeah.
So you've sold it back to me. I want to go do another multi-stage ultra. Who's
We're
in?
still going. I would tell you guys, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And October, we're definitely going. I'm definitely doing it again. And I invite all of you to join us. And I bet you it's going to be the best experience ever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Marcus is going to Al Qudra now. He's asking what time can you be there, Rob?
I'm going at 75 miles per hour, so do the maths.
Oh, into the darkness again.
Yeah, big calls for that,
Yep.
no doubt. All right, folks. I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much to Alejandro and Nabil for sharing that. That's been
Thank
pretty
you, guys.
epic. Yeah, next level. Again, this will be going up on YouTube later on this evening, and you can send it to people who want to watch it. But yeah, that's unbelievable. You guys are just got full of great stories. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, guys.
Guys,
Until the next time.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Arrivederci.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao.
Jenny's still here. Maham's gone. Madeleine kicked.
I didn't get kicked, yeah.
Put in waiting room.
Bye, guys.
All right, mate.
I keep hitting the button. Sorry, gotta go. Bye.
There ya.